Hey yo guys, it is me, DPX here, and today I'll be reviewing brand new movie. I don't know why I said brand new, but like it's kinda new, it's kinda not. The Zack Snyders Justice League. Now, there's a lot to this. This was a movie that, Justice League came out, many people hated it. I didn't think it's terrible, but like, it's a goddamn mess. It's two different directors' visions, and not only that, not only are they like conflicting directors, they're two directors that make two different kinds of films, if you know what I mean. Like, we have Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon. A Joss Whedon movie is the exact opposite of a Zack Snyder movie. So, yeah. And then it became a huge, movement to get the Snyder Cut made. The Snyder Cut of Justice League, Zack Snyder's original vision. And so we got it, and it's a 4-hour-long epic, and it's rated R. I haven't heard too many people talk about that, and I didn't even know that going in, but it's rated R. Like, there's some F-bombs, there's some gore in it. I'm kind of about that. So, let's get right into this. Today we're reviewing Zack Snyders Justice League. And there will be there'll be a spoiler section and a non-spoiler section. Of course, I'm starting with the non-spoiler section. There'll be time card chapter thingies in the description. So if you want to jump ahead, if you haven't seen it yet, and you don't want to be spoiled, jump ahead to the conclusion. Where I give the rating. So yeah. But before we do that, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to it, hit the bell, and leave a comment. You'll be a loyal subscriber. Also, one more thing. One thing I noticed is that 70% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So I'm just saying, if you like what you see here, it would really help me out if you went down below and hit that subscribe button and then subscribed again, because YouTube fucking sucks and you need to hit a stupid bell in order to really be notified. So can you do that for me? So Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I guess the theatrical version of Justice League is no longer canon. Like, I don't know. This movie, without spoiling anything, is completely different. Like, if you're on the fence about seeing this movie because Justice League, or because I don't like Zack Snyder, or because I don't like Zack Snyder's DC. Okay, I mean, those last two, aren't I don't know. Maybe they'll still bother you with this movie, but if you're iffy about this movie going into it because of Justice League, don't be, because this movie is completely different. There are many things that are in the theatrical version of Justice League and then I see what the original plan was for certain scenes in the original movie in this, and it's just how the fuck was that scene a better option than what we got in the Snyder Cut, I don't want to give any spoilers, but certain things, certain characters rather, you like them more because they're taken more seriously. I'll just say the Flash, he was sort of like a fucking he was the butt end of jokes in the OG version, in the theatrical version. Not that here. Sure, he cracks some jokes, but he's he's taken seriously in this. One thing I didn't like about Justice League was we had been introduced in that universe. We had been introduced to Wonder Woman, and we had been introduced to Batman. But at that point, when Justice League came out, we were not introduced to Aquaman, the Flash, Cyborg. So what the movie tried, I'm talking about the theatrical version, what it tried to do was cram all the backstory into one movie, and it just got rushed, and you felt nothing for them, honestly. They were just there, really. But in this, since it's 4 hours long, we get to see more, backstory. We see sort of why, we see more, stuff for, the Flash. We see more stuff for Cyborg. Even at the end of the theatrical film, you see, you know, where the Flash sees his dad at the jail and says, "I have a job at like some like law thing or whatever," and it's just like cool, but like there's no build up to that or anything. There we have build up here. I don't want to tell you what it is, but yeah, we have build up. Another thing is it's 4 hours long. It is worth noting that, but it is split up into different parts, different like chapters. It's almost like the chapter system on YouTube, if in a way. Though there are like on like the bar that shows like, you know, how much like time you've spent on it or whatever. You know, there are little markers on there that show you like you could skip to here to go to chapter 1 or chapter 2. I will say this is like a 4-hour epic, you know. It's definitely like, I feel like this is definitely something that like, yes, this deserves to be 4 hours long. But there are shots that go on for a little too long. I don't think those made it 4 hours. Like the movie's like pretty much exactly 4 hours, so I guess maybe like, but there are just certain scenes that like sort of drag on. There's this one shot with like Aquaman at like Atlantis where it's like where they, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. They hang on there for like a full like minute of just nothing happening, you know. And also, this was just an issue I had with the original, with the theatrical film, and it's something that you can't really change here. I didn't really like Cyborg that much. I don't know, I appreciate doing something different with the character, but Cyborg being this moody, you know, edgy, no fucking around, guy who doesn't smile character just doesn't seem right for Cyborg. Cyborg should be like the goofy one, honestly, if anything. But I didn't like Cyborg in the original, in the theatrical version of Justice League, and I don't like him too much here. I mean, part of the reason I didn't like him was also why I didn't really like the others too much, because they didn't have much, you know, development, didn't have much, you know, backstory. He does here, so that's great. Also, another character that is more serious, taken more seriously here, is Steppenwolf. He was almost like a joke in the theatrical version. Like in the theatrical version, he was there as like, in the way he was defeated, it was like, oh, I'm scared now. Oh, now all the bugs are coming at me. In this one, it's like he's an actual threat. I don't want to get into spoilers, but like he's an actual threat, and he's like, his presence is felt, you know. Like he's a good villain, and he has motives and shit. He like, you see what he's doing, if you know what I mean. And every little storyline is, you know, set up and concluded and, you know, done right, you know. Justice League, the theatrical version, was rushed, you know. It was rushed. Everything in that movie was rushed. It was a mess. This movie, everything in it has more time to breathe, you know. We get more development of the characters. We see more, we see their backstories. We see, you know, we get like questions that were left unanswered in the theatrical version, but not unanswered in the way that like, oh man, I wonder what's gonna happen next, but more unanswered and like, why the fuck wasn't this answered? They're answered here. And again, there are many scenes where it's just like, how was this not the better option? Why would you go with the other option? And the way the movie even starts, like, it sort of starts as sort of like a, you know, sort of like a highlight reel. I don't know if I should call it that, but like sort of just showing you what happened at the end of Batman vs. Superman. Like that was like, yeah, you've seen Batman vs. Superman probably, but like that was a much better way to start this movie, to start the movie, than it was in the original, in the OG, with that, oh boy, that terrible CG'd mustache off Henry Cavill Superman, where some kid asked if he's ever fought a hippo or some shit. Like, that, like, what we got here was way better. So that's the non-spoiler stuff. Now, I'm going to get into the more spoilery stuff, alright? 3, 2, 1, skip ahead. Okay, have you done that? Okay, good. Well, this movie was, again, it was very entertaining, I gotta say. You know, you had cameos from characters like Martian Manhunter, which I did not like. I don't know if he was advertised to be in this film, but I didn't know he was going to be in the film, so imagine my surprise to when I see Martian Manhunter in this movie. And Martian Manhunter, like, he's fucking awesome. Like, I remember watching the old Justice League animated show, and I really liked him. So it's great to see him in, like, one of these movies. And the one thing I didn't think was necessary, or something that I didn't think needed to drag as long, was the epilogue. You know, that was sort of like 3 post-credit scenes. One of which is the part where Jared Leto's Joker, you know, comes back. He's just a cameo. He's just in like a nightmare sequence. And that's where we see Martian Manhunter as well. And that whole sequence sets up like an Injustice movie, you know, with like, oh, you know, Lois being dead and her unborn child. Superman's turning bad. Darkseid is taking over. You know, that's Injustice. And they're setting it up. But one thing I'm just unsure. They're setting things up here that I really don't, that, like, are not gonna happen. Like, we're not gonna get, like, if from what it seems, Zack Snyder is, like, done after this. Zack Snyder's done with DC, you know. I feel like if he wasn't done, you know, or if he was done, I don't know why there'd be this setup for like future installments here, because now I kind of want future installments, but then again I kind of liked what DC was doing with like throwing shit at the wall and see what's stuck. You know, they did that with Shazam, they did that with Aquaman, they did that with Joker, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84 was a bit iffy, but still, they still threw that, and that one didn't really stick. But, you know, it's just, I don't know now. Are we getting more Zack Snyder DC stuff or not? And what kind of gets me even more frustrated here about, like, the original cut, not about this. This was, you know, I remember when Justice League was on the horizon, people were like, oh, the DCEU ain't doing too well. Wonder Woman came out though, and we all really liked it. Can Justice League keep it going? You know, if this is what they originally went with, it would have kept going. Like, obviously, Zack Snyder's departure from the project was like had nothing to do with any behind the scenes drama. You know, it didn't have. You know, it was because tragedy struck his family. You know, it was upsetting. You know, he had to leave because, you know, his daughter died. But obviously he has no control over that. Like, he has to leave the project for that, obviously. But like when Joss Whedon comes in and fixes like certain things that aren't issues, you know. Here's how I look at it now after watching the Snyder Cut. Joss Whedon took Zack Snyder's fucking epic and threw in many jokes that didn't fit the movie at all and tried to make it his movie, but not completely his movie, so it's Zack Snyder's movie and fucking Joss Whedon's movie. And that's like mixing like fucking ketchup and soy sauce. They don't go together. And yeah, when, like, another thing I liked is Superman in this. You know, he's got the black suit and everything. Superman's a badass, you know? And he doesn't have that fucking, like... So that CG'd mustache, or no mustache, rather, was, like... that was hella noticeable, like, in the original. So it wasn't there in this, you know? He's a badass here, and when he comes back from the dead, like in the theatrical film, when Superman comes back from the dead, and he's just like, oh, I died, you see me, I fight you. In this, it's sort of just like, he comes back from the dead, his brain isn't working properly because he just came back from the dead. And so he sees anyone, you know, he sees Batman first, and then he sees the rest of the Justice League, who seem like they're posing a threat, and it's like, threat, me fight, and then he sees Lois, and he remembers Lois, and it's like, shit, you know, and there's more, like, explanation with the mother boxes, which explain that. So, that was, this review of, Zack Snyders Justice League. What do I think of it? I think it's the real deal. This is what should have been the theatrical cut. Like, obviously, like I said in the spoiler section, Zack Snyder's departure had nothing to do with, you know, the behind-the-scenes stuff. For all we know, the behind-the-scenes of the theatrical Justice League was completely fine, you know, but, like, things in here, it's like, why wasn't this in the original? This is how you do it. This is what you do. This is, like, how you tell a story, you know. This is, like, this is it. This is Justice League, not 2017. Joss Whedon, that, like, he's a great director. Yeah, I want to say he had a bad day at the office with Justice League. This is Justice League. This is that movie, okay? I like to think of it as, you know, we were really excited for a Justice League movie in 2017, and then we never got one up until now. This is the real deal. So, in the end, I give Zack Snyder's Justice League a 9 out of 10. I'm telling you, definitely watch this if you are interested. If you like superheroes, if you like DC, if you like Zack Snyder, watch this movie. I'm telling you. It is long. Do watch it in separate parts if, like, you don't want to lose your sanity by sitting down for 4 hours. This isn't in a theater or anything. You're going to be sitting at home watching this on your couch or your chair, on your TV or your monitor or whatever, watching this for 4 hours. It might be a bit much. So it has different, like, marks there to show you, you know, this is one part, this is part 2, this is part 3. You know, take a break if you want to. That's how I think you should do it. Anyways, that was my review for Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's the real deal, like I said. Anyways, but what do you guys think? Have you seen this movie? Have you not seen this movie? Do you want to see this movie? Do you not want to see this movie? And if you have, do you like it? Do you not like it? Anything about Zack Snyder's Justice League, tell me. Let me know down below. Anyways, that'll be it for this DPX review. Be sure to like this video, come subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.